Hey everybody, it's All You Know 1994. I hope you're having a great day today. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about some more XDefiant. Big shocker, right? I know. XDefiant's probably one of my favorite shooter games that we've had in the last 5 or so years, so obviously I'm going to try to cover it as much as I can on the channel while it's still alive. Because as we know, in June of 2025, this coming year, it's going to be shutting down. It might even be shutting down sooner, depending on player counts. But we're not entirely sure yet. We're just going to see what happens, and we're going to enjoy the game as much as we can for as long as we can. Um, what I wanted to really get into, though, with this video today is I truly believe that people took this game for granted. It didn't really appreciate what we had until now. Obviously, you're seeing a lot of people talking about, oh, wow, Season three's update that incorporated all this extra content that was going to be coming for the next year. It's actually really good. This game don't seem half bad now. And the thing about that is people needed to have that kind of energy when the game was still, being supported and wasn't getting shut down. The content that we were getting, while arguably was being drip fed, which you can make that argument for most games nowadays, especially even big powerhouse companies like Activision and Call of Duty video gaming. We get drip fed in those games all the time, and nobody seems to really complain about that. Not nearly as much as they were complaining about in X Defiant. And I just genuinely believe that those people were the reason why this game lost its player base and genuinely were trying to kill this game off. And the funny thing about that is this game had so much good stuff going for it. We had development team that was very passionate and tried to give us the best content that they possibly could. We had Mark Rubin, who is by far in the last 5 or so years probably the best communicating head of development that we've had in a long time. He was very transparent, especially early on in the game. He was very transparent with us. I keep hitting the mic. I am so sorry. He was very transparent with us at the beginning of the game and throughout its, I think it was like 6 or so months that it was being supported. We don't get that nowadays anymore, and that's something else that people really just take for granted. Is we don't get that kind of clear-cut communication from many developers and publishers nowadays, and we were getting that with Mark Rubin. He has become, in my opinion, the GOAT. I think he set a standard that most publishers and development teams should follow in suit. And the thing is, I just think that's all going to fade away because the game shut down, and now everybody kind of looks at XDefiant as that weird game that, oh, it had all these nice things going for it, but look what happened to it, so why should any of us follow what they did? And that's the funny part. This game did so many things right for the FPS community by having that clear-cut communication, the publisher behind the game giving free rein to the developers to do whatever they wanted with all these extensive IPs that Ubisoft has at their disposal. We had Far Cry, Splinter Cell, The Division 2, The Crew, Rayman, and a bunch of other ones. Like, we just didn't really appreciate everything that we had on offer and what we could have potentially gotten in the future until it was too late, until the game is now shutting down and there's no more content patches coming out. This most recent update was the last one we're getting. Mark Rubin even said it on Twitter himself, so it is concrete. It is the last content patch we are getting for this game. Unless some crazy miracle happens to where the game somehow gets revitalized, which I doubt it will. The only way I see this game coming back is if Ubisoft gets bought out. I hear a lot of people talking about Tencent buying them out, which would be nice. But the fact of the matter is, unless Ubisoft gets bought out or gives a new publisher free rein to use their IPs, the game's going to get completely reworked, which could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. But the problem that stems from all of this is the fact that players in the community of video gaming nowadays just take everything for granted. They don't appreciate what they have in front of them until it's gone, and all they do is complain. I'm one of them. I complain about a lot of things in video games too. I think things should be done differently. I think they need to update things quicker and give us content more frequently. But at the same time, I knew that XDefiant was in it for the marathon. It wasn't in it for the sprint, like Mark Rubin said in the past on Twitter. This game, XDefiant, will always hold a special place in my heart because it pulled me back into the FPS genre. Call of Duty was pushing me further and further away every year to the point where I don't even like playing multiplayer COD anymore. It's a very reluctant thing I do, and I don't really appreciate what Activision and the Call of Duty development teams are doing with multiplayer Call of Duty and Warzone Call of Duty anymore. I don't like it. I think that there's a lack of passion and there's a lack of care from those teams. And XDefiant was just a breath of fresh air. It was different. It gave us a lot of it gave me a lot of fun memories that I'll always have with this game. Obviously, like I've said in previous videos, the no skill based matchmaking in public matches outside of the welcome playlist in ranked play was beautiful. It really did make it feel like a genuine, organic multiplayer experience, something that we have been lacking in a lot of shooter games over the last 5 or so years. And it's even more sad that, like I stated in a previous video, Delta Force, even the Battlefield clone that is coming out, I don't know exactly when the release date is, but Delta is coming out. The Battlefield clone has skill-based matchmaking in that game. I mean, it just goes to show, man, that all these games, all these development teams, all these publishers are all doing the same thing because it's just the way they want to do it. And XDefiant was always there to give us that alternative experience that was fun. It had its own grind. It was frustrating, but at the same time, it kept pulling me back in time and time again. And I just wish that people didn't take it for granted as much as they did. Because now that this game's going to be gone, we don't really have anything left that really will hold up to this standard that XDefiant set. Call of Duty will always be popular, obviously. Battlefield will always be popular, obviously. But those games and those publishers, they don't really care about us. And I feel like that's a factual statement. I don't think that can really be argued very much. There's people that are been diehard Call of Duty players for 15 plus years that are saying this stuff. So I mean, if they're saying it, I can't necessarily be wrong about that statement either. But again, to sum it all up, I feel like a lot of the XDefiant player base early on was just they took for granted what XDefiant was trying to accomplish and what they were doing for us, and they jumped ship way too soon before the game could really do what it needed to do and really cook. And Ubisoft saw this, and with them being in the position they are financially right now, they just weren't making enough money for the game, and they had to close it down. I feel like if people would have given this game more time and really just let it cook and really just didn't take it for granted like they did, we might be in a different position right now today, everybody. I really do believe that. And, I said in the one video on XDefiant, I think that they should have charged for this game at the beginning. I still stand by that. I still think that would have helped this game as well. But it is what it is, guys. The game is unfortunately going away. And, like I've said in previous XDefiant videos, we just got to enjoy it while we can, and just go from there. It's just a shame that I feel people take for granted too many things in the FPS genre world. And now we're stuck with Call of Duty, which we all know is in pretty bad shape as well. Just in terms of giving their player bases what they truly deserve. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you did, go ahead and leave a like down below and also leave a comment. You can go ahead and leave me a dislike as well. It doesn't hurt my feelings. And with that being said, this is All You Know 1994. Peace out.